You look at the dynamics as far as the caste breakup is concerned. First of all, I'm gonna try to present in, I'm so happy you've asked me this question, because anyways I'm gonna do a monologue about this on my own podcast where I'm gonna give a 1 hour answer for this. I mean, Prerna knows my thoughts now for a while, because Prerna and I have had so many offline discussions on this subject, and it's very interesting. The only person who kind of understands what I say beyond the point is actually Prerna, who she actually understands what I say on this subject, because she is actually a diaspora Hindu. She is somebody who has lived in the diaspora, so she actually
Correct.
understood what I was saying. So see, first of all, we have to be very fair. The breakup of diaspora Hindus, caste wise, uh, this is not a voice of Caribbean Hindus. I'll be very clear. Caribbean Hindus are not going around saying caste is a Western construct. No, they're not saying that. Let's be very clear. There might be
Yeah.
इक्का दुक्का here and there, मगर Caribbean Hindus की आप अगर caste breakup check करोगे, मतलब where did they come from? Who were they when they went and migrated to the Caribbean islands? They were
Hmm.
agricultural laborers. So you can connect what
Right.
caste, and you know what the discourse will be over there. This particular voice of British construct, castas, Portuguese, whatever, etc., ityadi, full stop, punctuation mark, whatever you want to add, it only emanates from Western Europe and North America.
Right.
Western Europe, North America, and if you want to add England as a separate entity, I included England in Western Europe basically. It only emanates from here, because even if you do the breakdown, I'm sorry to break it to people and break their heart, but if you did a jati based breakdown, it has been done in North America. There are enough surveys to show that, by the way. Overwhelmingly, and it's not by design, it is just by accident that this has happened. So I am not blaming the diaspora for this. I am actually sympathizing with the diaspora. It is not their fault that they all happen to be what is loosely called the general category in India. It is not their fault, right? It is not like
Absolutely.
all the general categories, they were twirling their mustaches and like Machiavellians or Kautillians, whatever. Depending on your inclination, if you are very Indic, then like Kautillians, or if you are very colonized, you are very Machiavellian, whatever you want to use. They were sitting there somewhere in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, whatever, and they were like, we are going to migrate out of India systematically. No, 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 it is not like that. It just happened. Whatever, they might be the ones who had privileges in India, whatever, they went there and they came here. Now what has happened over the years is that they have landed in a society, whether you like it or not, which is built on Abrahamic societies and Abrahamic structures. I'm not talking about the American Constitution. That's like a kick in the behind to Abrahamism in many ways, and the French Constitution. But the society largely is Abrahamic. So no
Hmm.
matter what the case, you're just a pagan in this society. They don't know your jat. Let's be very clear. You know, Prerna has lived outside India. Her caste consciousness, even on my own podcast with Prerna, she said I got my caste consciousness when I went to India. I was so happy. Outside India, there was no caste there. So
Right.
so so we cannot entirely blame them. But what has happened is there is a section, and believe me, this section is not the white folks doing this to Indians outside India. This is a section of Indians itself who have gone
Yep.
ultra woke. Like they are woke on steroids. No, no, they are woke on steroids, and they have started beating Indians up. Everybody is internally become a Ravish Kumar. Kaun jato. Everybody is going around like Ravish Kumar going kaun jato. And now the disease has started happening with small babies in the school. Like, if you're a child, just think about it, right? If you are a father or a mother, just think about the scenario that you are a kid going to school, and suddenly randomly somebody, just because you're a Hindu, says, what caste are you? I did not even know. I don't have any. So now what has happened is there could have been two responses to it, right? The standard normal response could have been, look, I don't have any caste consciousness. I am not for that system. Hinduism is beyond caste. And our Hinduism that we practice over here, because the moment you cross that plane, right, and you land over here, they can't even figure out who's a Pakistani and an Indian, right? I mean, even Ambedkar, if you remember,
Yeah.
Ambedkar had famously said, right, when I landed in America, they hated me because of my skin color, not because of my caste.
Right.
Ambedkar also realized that when he came over here. He's like, I was back in India and they immediately reminded me of my caste. So that's
Right.
Ambedkar. The same thing, I just spoke to Dr. Bayataram on my podcast, and he also said that when the Hindus went outside to the Caribbean islands, they were pretty much working on the fields, irrespective of what caste they were. They were all indentured laborers, irrespective of whatever caste they belonged to. So your caste was nullified outside India. But what has happened is because of this very bad attack on the community, and that is stemming because basically the Hindu community has now become the richest minority in North America. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
So now in the Operation Olympics landscape, they are
Yeah.
called white adjacent. Now there are, like, today, Sharan, you won't believe it. There was a horrendous crime against a poor Hindu man on a Taco Bell today that I'm recording this chat with you. I tweeted that video also. Obviously aap so rahe the, so you have not seen it. And there was a, I think, Khalistani. That's what is reported. He was, using the most worst slurs on our cow and etc. etc. And he was abusing that person. And luckily, that person, I think, because of harassment and everything of that poor Hindu, has been arrested. But they are facing these things, and then they are rising. So for this ultra woke ideology, they
Yeah.
started hitting you with the caste thingy. Now,
Hmm.
there could have been different ways we would have responded or could have responded to this particular phenomenon, right? There are multiple ways we could
Hmm.
have responded to it, but we chose the worst way to respond to it.
Right.
So basically what we did is we look at how they place it, we look at their
Hmm.
epistemology, and we used their epistemology and flipped it on them. And we said
Yeah.
it is a British construct. And then, you have the standard books by Nicholas Dirks, Jacob D. Roover. I mean, I have read them all personally. Like, and it's the same. It's the same postmodern framework.
Yeah.
It's the same postmodern framework, and unfortunately, the diaspora is completely addicted to it. They are addicted to the victimhood narrative. They just want to show that they are victims, and because
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect way to deal with the caste narrative in their view, because when you
Hmm.
talk to them, they tell me that, Kushal, you don't understand. When we go and tell them, they only understand certain language. So just like there is Islamophobia, so now we have to talk about Hindu phobia. I mean, we could not
Hmm.
come up with an original word. We came up with phobia, copy, cut, paste.
Yeah.
So Islamophobia is Hindu phobia now. So everybody is trying to tackle with a problem in that sense. So, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know why they thought that the Savarkar way of dealing with it was not good. I don't know why. I mean,
Yeah.
the Savarkar answer, or maybe the Dayanand Saraswati answer, or the Swami Vivekananda answer was not good enough. It's absurd to
Hmm.
me. But what do I do now? They have become denialists, and if you listen to the commentary in the diaspora, it's actually quite comedy to me. I mean, I just find it
Hmm.
funny personally. Like, and it's not like they don't deny it,
Yeah.
but they don't want to talk about it either.